The poem Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is one of the major literary figures of all times in the history of English literature. He collaborated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge in the preface to the Lyrical Ballads, which marked the beginning of the Romantic era. His poems are enjoyed by youngsters and adults and is surely one of the most important and favored poets. In the year 1843, he became England's Poet Laureate, a position he held for the rest of his life. Lines Written in Early Spring is a form of ballad which has 6 quatrains. In this poem, he expresses his appreciation towards the beautiful nature and his concern towards the path humanity is leaning towards. Let us see the poem now. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sate reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. The poet tells that while he sat on a reclined position, that is, leaning in a resting position in a woodland forested area, he heard 1,000 mixed musical notes of nature. In that sweet mood of feeling, the happy thoughts also brought him sad thoughts. Here he refers the changes that society has undergone around him as sad thoughts. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. The poet appreciates the nature for her godlike abilities, linking the human soul to herself. Nature's soul is not that different from humanity. The author feels very sad while he thinks how cruelly man has separated himself from Mother Nature. William Wordsworth here states one of his principal philosophies. It is man's innate state, that is, inborn state, which is close to nature. Through primrose tufts in that sweet bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. In that pleasant shady place, through green primrose bunches, trailed periwinkle plants to form wreaths, that is, circles. The poet has faith and strongly believes that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. They are thankful to be besides the nature. The birds around me hopped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The birds around the poet sang, hopped, and played. He is in awe at the surprise of these creatures. He cannot measure the thoughts of joy. Though he is not able to understand their language or the ways, he does recognize that the birds are creating moments out of sheer pleasure and joy. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think to all I can that there was pleasure there. The growing small leafless branches spread out to catch the flowing breeze, which is sweet and light. And all that the poet wants to do is to find pleasure in their existence. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan? Have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? If it is a belief sent by heaven that it is the holy plan of nature, then I have to feel sorry. The author questions, if this is heaven and this is the holy plan of nature, then what has man made of man? That is, himself and his kind, separating from such joy. The poet's spirits are still lamenting, that is, feeling sorrow for all the miseries of this human world.